Welcome to the Strategic Marketers Workshop. My name is Selena Brantley. I'm CEO and founder of Wealth Creations Network, your free source of online marketing tips and training, and your zero out-of-pocket way to creating wealth. Today, we're going to talk about brainstorming and finding your niche. Last week, we briefly discussed the importance of finding your niche and also what exactly a niche is. This week, we'll focus on the steps you should take to brainstorm for niche ideas. And notice I said ideas, plural. You need more than one idea to determine if the right niche will be viable and profitable for your new internet business model. You'll also learn how to analyze your niche ideas by using helpful tools that are absolutely free, and that will actually bleed into next week's training. Today, we're going to answer brainstorming questions that could help you with several niche ideas. And I want you to be able to understand the difference between a market, a niche, and a micro niche. And if you are brainstorming, I would like for you to know what category your ideas fall into. Do they fall into that market, or do they fall into the niche or a micro niche? And we will explore that even more in depth next week as well. This session is basically to make sure that you brainstorm until you have at least 20 to 25 niche ideas. The more the better, however. So I'm hoping that through the questions that you're introduced to today and the other strategies that you're introduced to today, that you will come up with more than 25 niche ideas. The more the better. Next week, just so that you know what to look forward to, next week's strategic marketing session will focus on how you can analyze your brainstorming list of niche ideas. So it's very important that you do this step this week, and you do everything in your power to complete it before Thursday's session. Because what we're going to do is put your niche ideas through a qualification process. And through that qualification process, you're looking for certain criteria. For example, within the niches that you've selected for yourself, what products or services are related to your niche ideas? You know, which of your ideas have high profit potential and which niche ideas have high demand? You'll learn that, or learn how to discover the answers to those questions next week. And basically what you're trying to look for is there a demand for the products within your niche ideas, and of the ones you determine to have high demand, which of them present the most profit potential? The ones that do are the ones you probably should focus on. Now, the training steps for next week, we're going to find the demand for your niche ideas, find the niche customer and niche value of each of your ideas, and you're going to understand the importance of recording your findings for future reference. So let's get on with today's training steps. Brainstorming. When you brainstorm for a niche idea, you also want to think about the products and or services your niche could provide. Brainstorming is a technique that should produce a large quantity of ideas. You're not interested in quality right now or analyzing your ideas at this point. And remember, we're going to be analyzing your ideas next week. You're looking to get as many ideas on paper as possible. Now, your objective to your brainstorming session is to get as many niche ideas on paper as you can, the minimum being 20. Hopefully, as I said before, you go further than 20. You have more than 20 niche ideas on that piece of paper. Don't get stuck on one idea. Focus on quantity and don't worry about anything else. Be creative with your ideas. Think outside of the box. A combination of your ideas can turn into several great ideas. So that's just a little tip there. Brainstorming is not supposed to be analytical. It's not an analytical process. So understand that not all of your ideas are going to work, out. Brainstorming is just the beginning and a necessary process to eventually get you to the perfect niche market for you. I want to stress that your goal should be to brainstorm on a niche level and not a market level. So, of course, it's important that you can determine the difference between a market, a niche, and a micro niche to make sure you understand what brainstorming on a niche level should produce. Okay, so let's look into the difference between a market, a niche, and a micro niche. Now, a market appeals to masses of people and is a fairly broad category and could be made up of several targeted niches and micro niches. A market is not focused on specifics, but appeal to very large groups of people that have an assortment of needs and interests. For instance, a supermarket is a great example of what lies within the market category because it's not focused on a single product or service. It has a large array of products and services it offers to multitudes of people. So to find a niche, you want to be more focused with your business. So when you brainstorm for niche ideas, if your ideas fall into the market category, the next step is to break down the idea so that it falls into a niche category you're able to consider doing business in. Okay, now a niche is a smaller targeted market, but it must be made up of enough potential customers to support your business idea. If a supermarket is a broader market, then focusing on a particular product the supermarket provides, or better yet, does not provide, would be a niche market. Now, last week, I mentioned a product called stevia, and stevia has been newly introduced into grocery stores as a sweetener. In the earlier years of stevia, the FDA prevented any marketer to tell customers that stevia could be used to sweeten their food. FDA only allowed you to market the product as a food supplement. But for some reason, the doors now have been opened, and now marketers are allowed to distribute stevia as a sugar alternative. And boy, what a great alternative it is. Stevia would be a good example of a niche market compared to a supermarket that provides an assortment of products and services that range from meat, dairy, fish, even services such as fulfilling prescriptions, and even providing eye exams. The best example I can think of is a Walmart. A Walmart does all of that. Okay, now a micro niche, it's a smaller group of a large niche market. A micro niche, for the most part, may not have enough customer potential to support an online business. Notice I said may not. This is not always the case. So if you break down something to this level, you'll want to qualify it before you decide to discard the idea. Remember, I plan to cover the qualification process next week, so whatever ideas you have on your paper, keep them. Let's qualify them next week. I'm going to continue to use stevia as an example for a micro niche. To break stevia down even further, you could focus on a particular product that uses stevia. For instance, stevia now you can find in grocery stores. However, the stevia products you can't find in grocery stores. A lot of times they're going to use the artificial ingredients, the artificial sweeteners. Now, some manufacturers produce gum, okay, and they only use stevia to sweeten their gum. So that would be possibly a micro niche, okay, category, stevia gum. Or you can focus on a certain segment of the population that could benefit from stevia, which is, if you don't know what stevia is, it's a no-calorie, no-carbohydrate, all-natural product. Stevia does not raise insulin levels like sugar, and it doesn't have any artificial ingredients in its raw form. Studies have shown artificial sweeteners present certain health issues as well, whereas stevia does not. So with this in mind, you could focus on providing stevia products to individuals that are diabetic, or another segment of the population that could benefit from stevia. Micro niches can be defined even further than what I've explained here. And of course, this is just something to help you understand the differences between a market, a niche, and a micro niche. Another thing to keep in mind is that you may think you've discovered a micro niche, and I may think that stevia gum is a micro niche. But you can only know that through analysis. So once again, the things that you think are niches, might not fall into that niche category. It might fall into the market category. Things that you think is a micro niche may be or may fall into the niche category. So once again, analyzing and looking at the numbers is what's going to determine if your ideas are actually niche ideas or micro niche or market. Okay? Through your brainstorming, you will want to find ideas that fall under the niche category. So you should brainstorm on the niche level rather than the market level. When you think this way, you're actually thinking like a person looking for an item on the internet. For instance, if a person is interested in a perfect golf swing, okay, he doesn't enter the word golf for his search term. He's going to place something more targeted, such as the phrase, how to improve my golf swing. And this is what I mean when I say you should brainstorm on a niche level rather than a market level. So if you think of something, maybe a service or a product, or if you think of whatever, think of what a person would be looking for to get to your niche idea. And that, in turn, will provide more niche ideas possibly. Okay?